in Sagittarius. When Venus is in Sagittarius, either in a natal chart or in the sky by transit, it brings this part of us that wants to enjoy life and wants to connect to others through, beauty and love and romance, and the way we enjoy life and our capacity to compromise and be together with the person, into this realm of Sagittarius, which is about, optimism, hope, deeper meaning, purpose, long-term goals like where we're going, and even things like religion. So it might sound like, well, that sounds good. You bring these desires and this love and beauty and this desire to interact with others and share into this realm of something that's, optimistic and hopeful and spiritual. So you'll find partners that are spiritual, or you'll find situations, you'll find it spiritual to compromise with others. Maybe, but this is what we attempt. This is what we try to do. But you can hear how those principles are kind of going on each other. Because let's be real, Sagittarius is where we're looking for something bigger, something that gives us hope, like literally even like religion, the things that we believe in. And those things that we believe in, they occupy a space of purity in our heart, and they're also things that are kind of black and white. We believe it. And whatever it is that you believe right now, you believe it. I don't mean to oversimplify it, but if someone challenges it, your first thing is kind of resistance. It's to bring out a philosophy to say, no, this is right. And it's right because it gives you a certain hope. And one of the reasons why our beliefs don't change quickly is because they give us hope. And one of the problems with Sagittarius is when we don't examine what gives us hope, for example, and we keep believing it just because we're afraid of what life would be like if we didn't have that belief. So again, we have a lot invested in those hopes and in those beliefs, and they're sort of abstract. Okay, they're bigger than individuals. It's about God and big purposes and principles. It should be this way. It's a sense of right and wrong and all of these judgments, right? We're judging what's right and what's wrong. You can hear now how these things, as they intersect with our relationships with others as equals, there can be a kind of disconnect. We need to be careful when Venus is in Sagittarius, not to be judgmental, not to just notice where people are falling short of our ideal, the ideal we have for them. And one of the problems with Sagittarius in general as it relates to people is a tendency to talk over people, to talk above the individual, and instead even kind of dismiss them in this kind of polite, pseudo-polite kind of, a pseudo-polite sort of dismissal. Like, oh well, may you find peace and happiness, and just kind of stroll into the sunset and kind of dismiss them instead of engage with them. Venus wouldn't do that. Venus is about staying connected with each individual because each individual deserves respect, deserves attention, and gets our respect. When Venus is powerful, we don't dismiss an individual because of a concept. We take care of that because we see beauty and love and God in that individual and in that moment. And we, in fact, may tend to lose our principles and our higher philosophies in that moment with the other person, in the engagement with the other person, in sex with the other person, and all kinds of things. So we're sort of looking for that big thing, we're looking for that individual to be some big God representative, we're looking to believe in them, or we might wrap up our connection to them in some big concept that they can never fulfill. It's what we need to be careful of. At the same time, it does give us this potential for great devotion. When the Venus energy starts to get elevated, it takes it out of the personal, out of the sensual, out of the romantic, what I want for myself, and elevates those Venus desires into something that's more sublime. So when you see this placement, whether it's in the sky or in a natal chart, we need to focus on higher, more abstract qualities of Venus, which have to do with, finding beauty and joy in all things. Not expecting individuals, particularly like romantic partners, in the places where we tie a lot up in individuals, where we're looking for our happiness from this individual, and then tying up our, sort of like the meaning of our life in this individual making me happy, or setting a bar that's so high and a standard that's so high no individual can meet it. So when we extract the individual from it, and instead we're looking for sublime beauty, we're looking for the beauty of the world, beauty of concepts, beauty of principles, the beauty of religion, the beauty of belief. You might say, oh, I'm not religious. You keep saying religion. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. I just mean what you believe in. That's what religion is. We all believe something. Whether it's formal religion or not isn't the point. Sagittarius is what we believe. Our philosophy. We all have a philosophy. So Venus shows where, when we elevate that, then we connect it to something that's where we connect that beauty to something very big and philosophical. But we need to make sure that we don't turn an individual into a philosophy, into a principle. Because from there, there's nowhere to go but down. It's just a recipe for disappointment. The whole soulmate fantasy thing. When will I meet my soulmate? Is that my soulmate? Are you my soulmate? God, I hope not. I hope you don't think I'm your soulmate, because there's nowhere for me to go from there but down. Right? But by the way, this is a problem with Venus and Pisces as well, even though you probably sitting there going, but I thought it was exalted, I thought it was good. Again, exalted, good. Get out of thinking that way, it's too simplistic. It's the same kind of trajectory for Venus. It works much better in Pisces, where Venus is exalted, and it's easier to find that happiness for no reason, to find that sublime level of beauty when Venus is in Pisces, because it's more emotional, sensitive, internal, and in the heart. When Venus is in Sagittarius, though, it's more active. It's looking for it. I'm going to get it. Sagittarius is a fire sign. It's about fire and acquisition and direction and drive. So be aware of those things when you see Venus in the sky by transit, or if you see Venus in someone's natal chart, know that they have a lot of passion, because it's that fiery quality, and it's also focused on a goal, and it's a big goal, and they might shoot too high and miss the mark with the individual in front of them. So then we need to focus it on something that's bigger than just our personal desires and the desire for another individual to make us happy.